Cool, mysterious music. The sound of a typewriter gradually slowing down. Opening shot, a dark room, scattered papers, and a hand typing on an old typewriter. Narrator. Every great story begins with an idea. But what if that idea was deadly? In mid-2012, a mysterious writer appeared in Cairo named Nader Hassan. He wrote a novel titled When the Killer Sleeps, a novel that earned him critical acclaim. But a few months later, the crimes began to appear, exactly as he described them in his book. Chapter 1. The Rise of the Writer. Music. A slow, tense melody. A rhythm like a heartbeat. Scene. Archival footage of television interviews. The writer smiling shyly at the cameras. Narrator. Nader was a genius with words. Quiet, reserved, but his words were full of darkness. In his first novel, he described the murder of a woman in her apartment. 2 stab wounds to the heart, and a message written in blood on the mirror. Chapter 1 is finished. The shock wasn't in the text, but in the real crime that happened a week later, with the same details. Scene. Reenactment footage. Police entering the apartment. Blood on the mirror. The same words. Narrator. The police thought it was a coincidence. But after the 3rd crime, there was no longer any doubt. Chapter 2. The Pen That Kills. Music. A slight crescendo. The sound of a typewriter turning into the sound of knives being sharpened. Scene. Close-up shots of his hand typing quickly. The light turning redder. Narrator. Each victim was a character from his novel. The doctor who cheated on his wife, the critic who mocked his work, and even the publishing house manager. He would write a new chapter whenever he decided to kill one of them, as if the book wasn't a novel, but a confession diary. Scene. Nader sits in front of a wall, covered with photos, connected by red threads. Narrator. He began to believe that God had granted him the absolute power to write destiny. He later wrote in his diary, "I don't kill people. I write their endings." Scene. Candlelight. The sound of distant police sirens. His face smiling with a mad confidence. Chapter 3. The investigation between literature and crime. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell icon to receive all the latest updates. Music. A mix of suspense and dread. A police investigation theme. Scene. An officer enters his office, placing a file labeled the ink case. Narrator. When the police began their investigation, they found an unpublished manuscript of a novel in his house, titled The Last Chapter. It contained the names of 5 people, all of whom were still alive, including the investigator of the case himself. Scene. The officer reads his name among the lines. His heart stops for a moment. Narrator. No one knew if it was a threat or a prophecy, but just 2 days later, the officer disappeared under mysterious circumstances. Scene. An abandoned car on a bridge. Scattered papers. A manuscript torn in half. Chapter 4. The unwritten ending. Music. Rapid tension. Sounds of breathing and panting. Then sudden silence. Scene. Police surround an abandoned building on the outskirts of the city. Narrator. He was finally found in an old building. He sits in the middle of the room, writing his last sentence. When they broke in, they found him smiling, the typewriter before him, and his last sentence read, "The end is always written in blood." Scene. Close-up shot of the paper, showing a blood stain on the word end. Narrator. A bullet to the head, but no one heard the shot. Chapter 5. After the ink, music. A faint, mysterious melody. Sounds of rustling papers. Scene. Library shelves. A new book is released titled Shadows of Ink. Its cover bearing a picture of Nader Hassan's face. Narrator. Months after his death, his last novel was published, without anyone knowing who wrote it. Today, everyone who has read it says they felt the author watching them from between the lines, as if the story wasn't over yet. Final scene. A typewriter operating on its own. The word continue slowly appears. Final sound. A single key press. Then complete silence. Full name: Nader Hassan Abdel Rahim. Born in Alexandria, Egypt, 1981. Psychological and personal background. He had a difficult childhood. His father was a strict civil servant, and his mother suffered from mental illness. He was introverted from a young age, writing stories in a small notebook that he hid under his pillow. When he was 13, the family cat was found hanged in his room. He said it was watching me.